Here I have some basic commands. I'm not going to show them in terminal, but I'm just going to mention them so that you know on some basic level what is going on when you are copy pasting command lines and the terminal. pwd means print working directory, cd means change directory, clear is the terminal of all text, ls lists of the sources in the current directory, and then you have listed a couple of options that you can use after ls. L could be also used instead of ls. Then again, you can also type ls -- help. This will give you a list of all of the available options that you can use after ls and what they do. You can use help for any command if you want to see what other options it may have and basically what it can do. Nano used to edit or create a file. Nano./filename opens the file with the name filename. Sudo means super user do, gives admin power for one command. That's on Ubuntu based distributions. Sudo nano./filename, you can now edit the file and save it. So before, if you had the permission to read it, you could only read it. Now you can also edit it and save it. su means switch user. Sudo su switches to root account. Root user has control over everything. su account name switches to the specified account. And then this is for Debian based distributions. apt-get is the program used for installing applications. apt stands for advanced packaging tool. So then it has several options, like for example apt-get install, and then you have to specify the program name, or apt-get remove to remove it. You can also use only apt install program name. Appname opens an installed program. apt-cache search appname asterisk searches the repository for anything with the name appname. apt-cache policy appname shows what the installed program's version is and what version the repository has. You can also use apt policy program name. apt-get upgrades any packages that have new versions in the repository. You can also use dpkg, for example dpkg-i./filepath to install a program whose installer is already on the PC. So dpkg stands for Debian package and -i means install. So if you have a Debian package on your PC, then you can use this command and specify the path to the file, and it's gonna install it. You can also use aptitude in addition to apt and dpkg. I think all of the Linux distributions have it by default. If they don't, then you can use apt install aptitude. It's a more visual program that is again used to install, delete programs, upgrade them, and downgrade them as well. own user column group changes ownership, and chmod changes permissions of a file. This is useful I guess if you want to transfer a file from one computer to another and still be able to edit that file and save over it and do whatever you wish with it. rm filename.format removes a single file with that name and format. mkdir makes a new directory or a folder, whichever you wish. Touch filename.fileformat creates files, but nano opens the file, whereas this doesn't. rm-rf mydir removes a directory named mydir. cp is shorthand for copy, so you can use the cp function with the syntax file path plus file name, and then another file path and the file name. File path is not always needed, especially if you're staying in the same directory. It's also used to copy and rename, so if you don't specify the second file path, then you change only the file name, so it makes a copy of the file with a different name in the same folder. You can also use mv to move files from one directory to another one. The syntax is mv filename file path. It's the reverse of the copy function. So like copy, but doesn't leave a copy where it started. And it can be used to rename files or folders. Again, if you move the file or the folder to the same directory, you specify another name, and then it's used instead of a rename function, which is kind of interesting to me, because it means you don't need a rename function. If you want to create a world, you can simply use a move function or a copy function. Okay, so find dot dash type f dash name quote asterisk dot php asterisk finds all files. I think the asterisks weren't necessary. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to try it. Finds all files with that format in the current directory, and you can also use dash iname instead of dash name. This will return .php files regardless of case, so it will return files that end in the format little p, little h, little p, or in the format big P, little h, big P, and so on. And you can also use this trick to, for example, find files with a specified name, but let's say you don't care what the format is, so you would then type the name and then dot star, and it will show you all of the files with the said name, regardless of what their format is. Top shows running programs. This in terminal, this is kind of like the task manager, but in terminal you also have something similar like the task manager from Windows, so you don't have to use the terminal for that stuff, but just so you know. PSAUX shows all of the programs running at the time of the command, not real time. So yeah, it is exactly what it says. If you type this command and then let's say you close the program or you open a program, it won't be reflected in the terminal, it won't be updated. So it's just showing all the running programs at that instance, whereas top is real time. It's gonna update whatever you do. Pigrep is pigrep program name or command from top. In top, the program names are listed as commands. Gives you the PID for every instance of that program, and it shows them in chronological order, which means which was opened after which. And then you can use that with the kill command, let's say kill-9 PID, to terminate a process that terminates only one instance of a program, or you can use kill-all and then command as in the program name, and then it terminates all of the instances of that program. So / means root whenever it's at the beginning of a file path, or when it's by itself. So for example, here it doesn't mean root. Tilde means home / username. You can use both in terminal, it doesn't matter which one you type. The sign signifies where you are, your working directory. / means to the current or specified directory or file. So back here where I gave that example with dpkg, it means go to this specified file path. / means one level up or one level back, however you wish to think about it. It's kind of like being in a folder and then you type this and it goes to the parent folder if there is one. / goes to levels up. ! Runs the previous command. You can also use in terminal the arrow keys, up arrow and down arrow, cycle through your commands. Big R means that it's recursive. Asterisk means for all. So for example, back here when we used the find command, we basically said, hey, every file that has this format has to be listed. We don't care about the name, and we can use this in reverse. We specify a name, let's say we don't care about the format, then as I said, we use .*. PID, if you don't know, means process ID. Right arrow is used to put info from the terminal to a file. For example, you can use ls to list all the sources in the current directory, and then right arrow into filename.txt. It's gonna copy paste all the information that it gave you in the terminal to a text file with that name. Control and O is used to save information. So let's say you open the file with nano and you wish to save it, you can use Control and O. I think they tell you up arrow and O. This is what it means. It means Control and O. I've tried Control and S, it also saves. Control and X is used to exit out of that menu. Control and C is used to exit processes menu. So if something persists in the terminal, you can stop it by pressing Control and C, or for example, if you use the tab command, you will lose the ability to type to enter new commands. So if you want to exit out of that menu, you can press Ctrl and C. Install packages from a specific repository. Okay, so this could be useful if you want to immediately install the newest version or maybe an older version of a package. I think by default your packaging tools will install the newest available version from all of the added and enabled repositories, but yeah, this could be useful if you want something very specific and you know where to get it from. So on APG based systems, you type sudo apt-get -t, I think it stands for target, and then repository name, install package name. On yum based systems, the syntax is sudo yum -- enable repo equals repository name install package name. And on SUSE or OpenSUSE systems, sudo zipper install repository name colon package name. And the last thing I would like to show you is how to downgrade packages to a specific version with apt on Debian based distros. And the command is basically sudo apt install package equals version. So in this first example, we're trying to downgrade Firefox from the 65.0 version to the 63.0 version. That's the only one available previous version. And we'll try that, and it works without any extra work because it doesn't depend on any other packages. So here at the end, you basically type Y for yes and you're done. In the second example though, we're trying to downgrade Chromium browser. Here we have two options. We're trying to downgrade it to 71.0, and as you can see, just typing 71.0 is not enough. You have to get the whole version name, so to speak. So that's why apt policy and then program name is really useful. So we type the already known command, but it doesn't work because it depends on some other packages. And the solution is, well, we have to downgrade those packages as well. So we can copy paste information in the terminal. We copy paste the package name and we copy paste the version, and here it says, yep, those are going to be downgraded, but this time it's also going to remove two other packages. Now if you don't care about them, you can simply type Y for yes and it will proceed. But let's say you want to keep those packages, like it says here, they were not required by Chromium browser, but you may still need them. So if you want to save those packages, you will have to downgrade them as well. And this is basically what we're doing here. We're copy pasting the package name and we're copy pasting the exact same version as before. This time it's not going to remove anything, it's gonna downgrade the specified packages and everything is fine. So basically the formula is sudo apt install package name equals version. It's just that sometimes you will have to downgrade additional stuff, and you may also want to save some packages in the process, so you're going to have to downgrade them as well. And sometimes you get the easier case, like here with Firefox, where you type it once and it just works. And that's it.